My focus this week with Mystic has been getting her to continue to soften up. You know, the first few weeks I kind of focused on her softness on the ground, getting her to respond to me at liberty and making sure that she's really respecting any sort of cue I might give her from the halter. And we're continuing to work on that. But this week, I really kind of focused in on under saddle softening. And what I mean by that is getting her to relax her whole body, move off my leg a little more easily, move a little bit more free and forward, and also be very responsive and supple to the bit. We had a great start to the week when Mystic's owner Sally came to visit, and that was really great, just kind of showing them everything she'd been learning. And Tuesday was off to a little bit of a rockier start. I got on her under saddle, and she was just really distracted, wanting to hold her head up in the air, look at the horses in the pasture, inconsistent, not wanting to move off my leg. And these are all things really common in a green horse or a horse that just needs more miles under saddle. So I decided to shift my focus into the round pen on Wednesday. And I utilized a device called a training fork to help it make sense to her that I wanted her to lower her head and relax her back. If I'm going to use a training device, I really like to use the training fork because it's really simple for them to understand. Because when they hold their head up, they get some pressure on the bit, and then when they relax and give to it, it takes all pressure off. And I'm able to utilize my hands and my legs a little bit to help her understand. So you might see a lot of movement going on with my hands and legs, because what I'm doing is I'm trying to get her to wrap her body around my inside leg. So when I put my leg that's closest to the center of the round pin on her, I want her to move her rib cage over just a little bit and kind of tip her eye to the inside of the round pin. And what that does is that causes her to bend at the pole, soften her back, and also engage her back end. It's just a good position for her to be in for her whole body. And what I have found is that when a horse learns that a little bit of leg pressure and some contact in the bit will be released once they relax and lower their head, it becomes easier for them to just come back to you when their mind becomes distracted. So what I'm saying is, as you soften their body, you in turn soften their mind. Not only does dropping their head help lower their heart rate, and it also kind of minimizes distraction because it keeps them from looking around at the things going on outside of the arena or the round pen or even on the trail, wherever you're riding. When their heads kind of drop down and relax, they're a little bit more focused on just what's going on between you and them. So that being said, you know, when I take a horse to a new place or to a horse show, if I've already done this concentrated work with them in the round pen or the arena, then when I get to that new place and I give them that cue, you know, I ask them to soften off my leg or move off my leg, and I ask them to soften to the bit, it's really easy to get them not only physically to kind of join up with me, but to mentally. And so even if you're not planning on showing your horse and aren't too worried about getting them collected for that reason, another reason that it can be important to ask your horse to at least relax their head and neck and respond to your leg and the bit is that it's going to be a way to help them be a safer mount and just more pleasant for you to ride. And I was really pleased with Mystic's progress on this in a couple days in the round pen. And so after I got her going pretty consistently, I did decide to transition her out to the big arena, and I took the fork off. And I was really impressed how I was able to just put my leg on and give her a little contact in the bit, and she just came right to me. And that was great because the days prior, she was head up in the air and not so soft in the bit. And you'll see a few moments where she gets distracted, head comes up, and I give her the contact and she comes right back down to me. Another thing you'll see that she kind of just did right there is you'll also see her just kind of fizzle out a little bit. You know, this is hard work for her, getting out there in the sand, and I'm asking her to engage her muscles and also focus on me mentally. So it's a lot to ask of a horse physically and mentally when you first start demanding it of them. But over time, I think it becomes a source of comfort, and of course, they become more physically comfortable doing it as well. And after doing some of the focus work in the arena, I'm sure to take the horse outside of the arena to do something that is kind of a whole different focus. Here I was just having her navigate my sand pile, which was a little bit of a challenge for her at first, but then she got brave and went right over it. And we also worked on opening and closing the gate, which requires the horse to move off your leg, but also requires them to be patient, stop when asked, back up, and maneuver with one hand. And I was really impressed. She did really well with this. Stay tuned for more Mystic updates. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for watching.